Yo, what's up guys, it's Kenny, back with another video, and today I actually got top 4 at the Santa Clara Regional with over 500 players. Pretty funny that I made a full master guide on Friday and pretty much showing this exact same deck list on Friday. So if you guys were subscribed on the channel, you would have saw the list earlier in advance. I just didn't care, I just uploaded my list and ended up topping the event anyway. And if you guys are interested in more Fire King Masterclass videos, and or basically the video that I made, it's literally up on my channel, on this channel right here. So don't forget to leave a like, comment, and a sub, and go back to that video if you guys want to see more in depth of the combos. And maybe in the future I'll show some more combos that I did end up missing. But yeah, I ended up playing a Fire King Snake Eyes, as we all know. And yeah, we can get into the profile. But first, let me give some few shout outs. Shout outs to all my homies. Ed behind the camera, we're gonna get his profile later. But first, regional top shout outs to Mark, Michael here, Andy, and then Brian also for topping, and especially Michael here for putting me on these sleeves. Yeah, these Game sleeves were drawn insane for me. Some rounds I did brick, but for the most part I got to play almost every game, and I'm pretty happy with that. So let's go ahead and get into it. So obvious stuff, 3 Snake Eye Ash, Crazy, 2 Pop, Oak, and Flambridge. Pretty much standard, nothing crazy here. Then I played the Fire Kings. Played Grunix, 2 Kieran, and all these, and the Sanctuary and the Island. So it was kind of like a thing this weekend to cut Sanctuary, but I feel like I used to actually side out this card a lot, but then I realized that I always needed it, especially to send off with the Snake Eye Ash, because sometimes you get hand trapped and you don't have enough bodies, and this is like a free card to send. And I stopped siding this out, and if I stop siding it out, that means I really think it's good. So I kept playing it as well, and then 2 Kieran's pretty standard, and yeah, pretty much standard Fire King ratio. I also think the Fire Kings are a lot better into regionals than they are in YCSs. I think if you play Pure, it's better into a YCS because you can win the event, because I think Pure is better into Fire King, but Fire King is so good against Rogue, and that was my read for the event. You can see my list later on, just spoilers, but I don't play Crossout or Lullaby because I just expected so many mirrors. Like, I understand those cards are powerful, but I just didn't think they were that good for mirror match, or not mirror match, for against the Rogue decks. And like rounds 1 through 4, I played against like Centurion, Horus, Floodgate, Rescue Ace. I played Tearlaments and like, yeah, all these like weird random Rogue decks, and the Fire Kings I put in so much work because of that. So I liked it a lot. Then for the hand traps, because it's how the format is, so nothing too crazy. Played 3 Ash, 3 Mourner. The only thing different is I guess 3 Mourner, but 3 Baylor, 3 Nib, and 3 Imperm. I don't play Droll at all. It's not good against the weird decks outside of like Vanadium, and then it's also not good against Pure Snake. But maybe I should have played it. I ended up siding it anyway because I think it's good into one, the mirror match, because it stops the Fire Kings, and then I also expected people to play Flunderees because it's a regional, so I ended up siding it anyway. But I think it was correct to not main it, so I'm pretty happy with the hand traps. And then wanted stuff. Probably should have showed this first, but I forgot. But 3 D-Bell Star Wanted, Divine Temple. Some people don't play this card, but I originally didn't play this card in Fire King, but after playing with it in Fire King, I feel like I can't live without this card. This card's absolutely insane. Everyone knows what it does and how it's good for the Pure deck, and same logic applies to the Fire King deck. Like, it just helps you play through much stuff, and I've won so many games simply because of this card. Like they have Princess Engrave, I activate this, I play straight into the Princess, summon it back out, and I just kill him that turn. So like, it's broken. Then Bonfire 141. Ed here behind the camera really hates this card, but I drew it like 4 or 5 times to want me to game every time. I think this card's broken, literally should be banned. But maybe it's how my hands turned out, I don't know. But yeah, I think 141 was crazy. So yeah, that's the main deck, 41 cards. Let's go ahead and do extra. So this package, nothing too crazy. Charmers, SP, Apo, Princess. I played 1 Princess. A lot of people like 2, and I think it might have been correct. I ended up playing the Whale anyway, and this is something that I would probably cut for the Princess, but I really wanted the Whale because I think people, especially for regionals, are still going to play like Cosmics and stuff, even though it's like typically not good against this deck, if like you actually know what you're doing. And because of that, people don't really side Cosmic, but I feel like the more unexperienced players will still play Cosmic against this deck. And the way you punish that, you summon Ample Whale. Because you summon Ample Whale and they Cosmic you pretty much go plus. It like does nothing. They just -1. So I ended up playing it, but I think for our future, or maybe like some higher tier events, there's a debate on cutting Ampleware and just playing a second Princess, because this does come up, but you just have to be careful of how you like sequence cards, because you can't just throw them away quickly, because you do play 1 Princess. But I'm pretty used to playing with 1 Princess, so I was fine, but that's something that could be considered. access code, and Celine. So some people don't even play this package, but I think Celine is so broken in this deck. It's like absolutely mandatory to play. So this card's like absolutely mandatory to play in my opinion. It's just so broken. Like there's so many lines where I literally go like summon Celine, my access code, and then like I'll threaten game with like Flamberge and access code, and this is like 8,000 or more than 8,000. And if they have to nip here, if they nip here, then I get the effect, and then I make Hida, and then Hida do the Zelantis combo, and that comes up like so much. Then also this going second, I just make Apple, and then I kill you under Apple. So like summoning this card is just, it gives you so many ways to like go for game, play through under interruption. People don't like this card, but I think it's absolutely mandatory. It's probably like the best card in the extra deck because it branches out into so much different things. And then KennyYGO, obvious IP, Phoenix, the Sunlight, and the Heat Soul. I don't play Doolittle, which is something that is talked about a lot, and I like doing the Heat Soul stuff better because I think the Doolittle only comes up if your combo is already resolving, and I made my extra deck in a way where like I'm assuming my combo doesn't resolve, which doesn't happen a lot, especially since we're in the 15 format hand trap, and when your combos don't resolve, like you're making like half boards, and that doesn't really consist of Doolittle. You're just pretty much doing stuff like using Heat Soul and using all those type of cards. But Doolittle is really good against board breakers, but like I said, like just how the format's shaping right now, like no one's playing board breakers, they're all just playing hand traps. So I don't think Doolittle is that great. So that's for the extra. And then we'll go over to the side real quick. Show this last because it's definitely my best card. So this Yugioh, I probably should have played more, but I ended up playing it for another card that I'll show you at the end. But this is really good against Voiceless. The one guy I lost to was playing Voiceless. I drew Magnuma and I still lost because he drew the nuts. But overall, they're pretty good. And I side them against Pier also. And then this is a little bit weird, but I can explain these. I played 2 Droll, 2 Bell. And I guess I'll show the rest. It's like 3 Cosmic because I expected a lot of Runic and Stun decks because it's regionals, and also it's good against Flunderies, all these other like type of decks. This is pretty good, and like people are gonna try to floodgate you because you're playing meta. So this was mandatory. And then something I did different is I play anti-spell. So the standard here is to play summon limit, but I play anti-spell because, like I said, with following the same theory of Rogue, this is better into Kashtira, it's better into Branded, summon limit, and like those cards aren't good into the Rogue decks. They're only good against the mirror, I think. So when you play like Flunder, even Flunderies, like Flunder, Cash, Branded, all these type of decks, you usually anti-spell against them. And this was like amazing all weekend. It overperformed like so many times. I played against like or even Voiceless. I think this is better than Summon Limit, right? Because it's like they're playing Branded now. It stops all the Branded fusions. I played against I played against Flu before, where like literally like I activate this, they have Ultimate Slayer in hand, they can't use it, and yeah, it's just like overall better. And like the theory, they always build their decks to beat Summon Limit, similar like how they go like Ultimate Slayer to like send Entis, or like not Entis but send the Evil Twin guy to out your Summon Limit. So like a lot of people are preparing for Summon Limit now, so like a Anti-Spell was like a lot better, and it was crazy. And so the last card I'm going to show you guys is, this card was the crazy tech of the weekend. It's definitely 3 Fenrirs. Shout out to Ed, let me borrow them behind the camera again. The Fenrirs are absolutely crazy. These were the slots that used to be Cross Out or Lullaby, but I think this card is better for regionals because it's a more generic card that you can play. And also, with how the mirror match is working right now, I think this card is the best way to capitalize on the mirror, and it probably gives me the best advantage over the mirror because, for example, if this was Cross Out, right? What's going to happen in the mirror is that a lot of times we're going to open like 3 to 4 hand traps, and even if you draw Cross Out, like let's say for example I have Snake Eye Ash plus this is like Cross Out, right? And their hand is like, you know, all like these cards and this and this and everything. Like if you summon like Snake Eye Ash and then you get like hit with Valor, you have Cross Out. It's like you still have to deal with all these 3, right? But it's like now I just summon Fenrir, and if you Valor my Snake Eye Ash, that's fine. You're pretty much stuck with all these dead cards in your hand, and you have to deal with a Fenrir that none of these cards can really trade into. And that's how the mirror match is going. And I think this card's absolutely insane to the mirror also, but also being really good against Rogue because Designator and Lullaby doesn't do anything against Rogue. But this is crazy because it also out summon limit as well. Yeah, I thought this card was absolutely insane. And the last thing is the reason why I play these 2-ofs, even though they look kind of random, is because I actually side out all the Fire King cards when I go second, which is something a lot of people don't do in this deck. And the reason why I do that is because I think that the Fire King cards are really good at pushing through hand traps when you go first, but they're really bad in your hand going second. And I switched to pure Snake Eyes essentially post side, and when I do that, there's 7 Fire King cards exactly. which is the all these cards here. So the perfect side out is exactly 7. So what I do is I side in 3 Fenrir's and exactly 4 cards in which are these 7 into the matchup. So that's why there's 2 and 2, because it makes the siding perfect. And then if I'm playing against pure Snake Eyes, I don't think Draw Unlock is really good. So I actually side, instead of draw, I side in exactly the 2 Bestials I have, and this is my side for pure Snake Eyes, and it's a perfect 7 cards, so that I never get like confused with which cards I'm siding out. So that helps out with the pattern a lot, and yeah, I mean, this card was absolutely amazing, and that's pretty much it for the profile.
Anything else?
And that's pretty much it. Leave a like, comment, and a sub, and I'll catch you on the next one.